Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron. Now, for the benefit of those of you who are not familiar with the channel or are watching this channel for the first time, the reason why it is called Uncommon Sense because here on this platform, we discuss everyday issues where we try to find logical solutions, but not everyone uses logic. So, for that reason, it is called Uncommon Sense. I want to let everybody know that I'm currently live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. I also need to let everybody know that the subscriber mode has been enabled, meaning if you are not a subscriber and if you wish to enter a comment in the chat, you will need to subscribe to the channel. Now, as always, I want to give a huge shout out to all those who have already subscribed to the channel, whether it be from day one or it's just as recently as today. So I just want to give a huge shout out to all my supporters for all the love that you continue to give me. And actually, I'm checking that now I have reached 240 subs. Again, huge shout out to all the members of the Uncommon Folk. I also want to give a huge shout out to all those who follow me on social media, whether it be Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, um, Instagram, or any other type of social media. I really appreciate all the love and support that you give me. I also want to give a huge shout out to all those who allow me to enter into your devices and all those who watch me from the clouds. So, what I'm going to ask you to do is the following. If you have not done so, I'm going to ask you to please subscribe, like, excuse me, and hit the bell notification to all. So therefore, whenever I do produce content, you will have the opportunity to catch it live or catch it on a playback. Okay. Now, before we get into the topic, there's going to be a scheduling change as far as my streams for next week. Normally, my schedule is the following. I do a Tuesday stream, a Wednesday stream, and a Friday stream. Just want to let you know that I will not be doing a stream on Tuesday night. There will be one Wednesday night, Friday night. There might be a Sunday night stream that I have not made a decision regarding that. I will let all of you know on Friday whether or not I will do a Sunday stream. Okay. Those of you who follow me know that I try to do 3 streams a week. However, there are times when my schedule is so busy, it does not allow me to do so. Okay. However, you are more than welcome to catch all my videos and streams and on the playback. So I just want to let everybody know. Also, being that we're in the month of November, I will be spending some of my shows regarding mental health issues. And the reason behind that, because we all know that while the holidays is a happy time for many of us, for some of us, it is not. The depression, the cases of depression go up, the cases of deletion going up. So I will have mental health issues, which I will discuss this month. I will let all of you know regarding the dates and the times and the topics, okay? Now, when I do those streams, I will encourage those, if they wish, to share the stream because it may help people who are dealing with issues of depression or thoughts of self deletion. Okay. And let me just make this perfectly clear. Um, don't feel shame if you need to get help or if you need to speak with someone. Okay. The only shame is not to have the courage to seek help. So With that being said, we're going to have another issue of In My Words. Now, first of all, I want to start with giving a huge shout out uh, to Kesha of Wine and FaceTime. Why? Because she had reached over 500 subs. And I just want to commend her and give her props and her roses because she's really have grown as a YouTube creator. Okay, whether it be her daily topics, whether it be discussions regarding hair care, whether it be local politics and things of that nature. My dear union sister Keisha has done an amazing job with both platform, and I just want to say kudos to you. You deserve all the credit. You continue to work day in, day out on your content. So a huge shout out to you. Now, I don't like to talk to comment anyone because mainly because they're not here to talk, to give a rebuttal. But I was in a recent stream on Finest Channel, and among the things that was discussed was the qualities of being a leader. There was someone on the panel that said, in my opinion, some questionable remarks talking about that it's fake, talking about it's a minority thing. Um, One thing we have, excuse me, we have to bear in mind in every organization, whether it be the military, whether it be an agency, whether it be a private employer, you have to have leadership. You have to have people who are in charge to give direction as far as where where the organization is going to go. Because if you do not have leadership, or better yet, let me phrase it in this fashion: if you do not have responsible leadership, what's going to happen is the organization will flounder and the organization will fail. Okay. So and that was a point that we tried to explain to this individual, but apparently for whatever reason, he just didn't get it. Okay. I'm not going to name the person, and mainly because the person's not here to give his rebuttal. But this is my point. If you're going to disagree on a subject, whatever it is, give talking points that actually make sense. Do not go around and endless theories that cannot be supported. Okay. That is just my humble opinion. Okay. Also, I've noticed on social media, it seems like I don't want to. Okay, I'm trying not to sound like um, I'm bashing women, but you know what? Some of these ladies need to think before they actually get on social media and talk and share some of their talking points, which is delusional, or share things which are questionable behavior. Because unfortunately, what that does, it creates a narrative that all women are the same. We all know for a fact that that is not the case. Uh, Women, okay, maybe this way, there are many women who are logical, clear headed, they know what they want, and they know how to achieve what they want. Unfortunately, social media is full of delusional people. Okay. I think part of it has to do to try to get clicks and views, and part of it is a skit. Okay. And in some cases, it's pretty obvious. I mean, if you want to go ahead and make a complete fool of yourself on social media, that's perfectly fine. Just be prepared for the reaction that you're going to get, which is not going to be a favorable one. That's all I'm going to say on the subject. And I think people in general need to be mindful of what they say or do on social media, because the fact of the matter is, once it's in social media, it doesn't really go away. Even if the video gets deleted or privated, people can still screenshot it and talk about it and ridicule you for your actions and words. So I just want to say, let's be mindful of what we say or do, okay? And if you don't want to make a complete jackass of yourself, think twice before you speak or, or do. So, with that being in my mind, we're going to get into the main topic. Now, as you can see by the thumbnail, the topic for tonight is the list. Now, you're probably wondering, what the heck am I talking about? Okay, there's been a lot of chatter lately regarding a list which was created. Okay, and what happened? There was a group of women. They got together and they created a list of all the places where they would not go with a dude on a first date. Okay. Some of it does make sense, others does not. Okay. And I think part of it could be a skit, or part of it what could be is just that they don't realize how foolish they sound when they speak, their talking points, and also how foolish they may perceive to be. Okay. And unfortunately, you have certain people, both male and female, that have a heightened sense of entitlement. Okay. Now, for the women, they expect the dude to have to be 6 feet tall, have a six pack, have a six-figure salary or more, pay all their bills, cater to every conceivable whim, okay, and accept them no matter what they look or act or say, and accept them regardless of the actions that they have taken, even if it means if they have a bunch of baby daddies and they have a bunch of kids and all that. And then these people are asked what they bring to the table, they get insulted. The person is being toxic. And the other end of the spectrum, you have men who have unrealistic expectations as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share from my Instagram account a couple of examples of some of these lists. Some of them are really like totally insane. So, oh, and before I forget, I just want to let everybody know that the link to join the panel has been pinned should anyone wishes to join the panel and all pie. Okay. And you might disagree with what I say or do, and that's fine. If we disagree, let us discuss it. Bring your talking points, bring your points. Why what you're thinking or saying is incorrect. So, with that being said, let me just share my screen. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, excuse me, I'm going to mute myself, and then we're going to play. I'm going to play the short video. Okay.
So y'all know how this list been going viral on Twitter of like all the places that females say should not be a first date place.
A bitch like me.
Thank you for coming up with this whole list, because it's a whole. So y'all know how this list been going viral on Twitter of like all the places that females say should not be a first date place.
A bitch like me.
This.
Okay, now let's take a look at this list here of places that these women would not go on a date. The first one is, of course, the Cheesecake Factory. Okay. Now, I think most of us have seen the video. I don't know if it's true or it's just a skit. When you have a person that she appears to be at or close to 40 years old, talking about that she's too pretty, that she's too beautiful to go to the Cheesecake Factory. Let me give you some interesting facts. The dude had made reservations to take this chick to another place. She made him wait for an hour and they lost the reservation. Okay. So the dude was gracious enough to suggest that they go to the Cheesecake Factory. And what happened was she was so insulted or what have you that she didn't even get out of the car and talking about that she's too beautiful, that she do this. And I think the dude handled himself very well. I think he made a couple of mistakes, but for the most part, um, he did fine. He did not go ghetto. He showed some restraint, and he just let this chick know that, you know what, that's okay. I'll end the evening. Now, the next place that the chicks won't go is Applebee's. Now, I guess with some people I can understand it, depending what type of ambience or atmosphere that you're looking for. But if you take a look at the first five, I don't have a problem. Okay, Chili's. Okay, I don't know anything about Chili's, so I don't want to say I agree or disagree. Chipotle's, I don't, that's a good place. I mean, first of all, okay, it may not be a 5-star restaurant, but they do provide some good quality food that's relatively healthy. Okay, and I have treated one of my union reps for the union reps to lunch there, so I don't understand what's the problem. The Olive Garden, that's, I mean, what, I mean, look, I don't understand why they wouldn't go to the Olive Garden. It's a fine restaurant. I mean, they sometimes overfeed you, but I mean, make that make sense, people. Make that make sense. Now, some of the places. Now, the next three, I would agree. You don't take a chick to see a movie. Okay, first of all, because you're not going to be able to have a discussion with the lady, um, to try to get to know her. The movies, it's more appropriate once you have spent some time, know her, and then you know what the opposite sex likes or do not like in movies. Bring a date to your home, and for that matter, go to your date home. First of all, you don't know the person. You don't know what the person's capable of doing. For all you know, this person could be a psycho. So you never go to the person's home or bring her to your home. Any fast food chain? Okay. I can kind of see the logic behind that. I mean, Mickey D's or Wendy's. That might be okay if you want to grab something fast, but on a real first date, no. Buffalo Wild Wings, more or less the same category. I would never take a member of the sex to Buffalo Wild Wings. I mean, that's something more like if you want to grab a quick bite and maybe. Wingstop, I don't know anything. Okay, I don't know anything about Wingstop, so I'm not going to say anything yay or nay. Wrap lobster, okay. If you are into seafood, I can see it, but maybe your date is not into seafood, so that's kind of like an iffy. Buffet, okay. A buffet is okay if you want to take your day and if you have a girlfriend or a boyfriend and you just want to pig out. Okay, but on the first day, I don't know. IHOP. I would not take a date for the first date to IHOP. Maybe if I want coffee. Okay. That means I've never been to Denny's, so I can't say a yay or nay. The gym, you cannot have an adult conversation because basically there's too much background noise. First of all, you have music blaring, and then you have the sound of equipment going off and on. So the gym is out. Church, unless the person is a born-again Christian and the person has like similar religious views that you have, church I would not take. Okay. Starbucks, you know what? That's fine if you want to get coffee. Okay, which is basically 17 and 18. It's more or less the same thing. Now, 19 ice cream dates. Unless your partner unless the person really wants to go to an ice cream date, no. Family functions, no. I mean, look, the thing is, you need to get to know the person before you bring them to the family, okay? Because first of all, you don't know how they're going to interact with your siblings and what have you. And of course, siblings love to ask a whole bunch of questions like, how you met? Where are you came? What are your plans? Are you going to get married? Are you going to have kids? On and on and on and on and on. Okay. Movie night, Netflix, Hulu. Okay. That's kind of like the same reason why you would not go to a person's home and you're not bring your date to your home. You're not going to, no. That's something that you're going to do when you're home, when you know each other and you two jive well to each other, and you could order DoorDash and get some nice food. So no. Somewhere that requires a long drive. Why? That could be very awkward. Okay. And good evening, Irby. Thank you very much for stopping by. He says there's nothing wrong with Starbucks, movies, and the Cheesecake Factory. Okay. You're entitled to your opinions. Cheesecake Factory is fine. Starbucks is okay. Movies, I mean, if you really want to get to know the person, that's kind of hard when you have to like shut up and watch the film. Now, somewhere that requires a long drive, not everyone is comfortable with a long drive. So that's something to bear in mind. Bowling, that's not something that you do on the first date. That's something that'll be more appropriate once you get to know the person and you two start to click and you two both enjoy bowling. Because not everyone likes bowling. Okay, not everyone likes sports. Nightclubs, that's definitely not. Okay, not on a first date because first of all, how could you have like a serious discussion in a nightclub? And plus, you might expose her to some dude that might try to steal your date. A hookah bar, no. A bar just for drinks, yeah. It's kind of like an iffy sort of thing. Okay. The Waffle House, I never been to the Waffle House, so I cannot say yay, nay, what have you. And sports events. Again, this is something that you two can do once you have passed the initial stage and you get to know each other. And yeah, I agree, Irby. Clubs a big no. So I would not take a person of the opposite sex to a sports event. Maybe once you get to know each other and you know what kind of sports that they're into. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing. Now, let me just give you my point of view. Okay. Now, some of the places that was listed as far as not taking a date, I don't see a problem. I don't see a problem taking a date to a nice place, to a nice restaurant, to have a conversation. Cheesecake Factory, I have never been there, so I think it's fine. Applebee's is perfectly fine. Chipotle is perfectly fine. Olive Garden is perfectly fine. Starbucks, that could be okay. Okay. But clubbing, no. And definitely, under no circumstances, do you take someone you just meeting the first time to your home or you go to their home? Because again, you do not know what the fluff you're dealing with. Okay. And I agree with Irby. Clubs are a big no. Okay, first of all, this is just my humble opinion. Okay. You can take it with a grain of salt. But people who go to clubs, generally it's with the intention to hook up. That's what it is. It is to hook up. Okay. That's just my humble opinion. To hook up. Okay. Not to get into a serious discussion, but basically as an opportunity to smash, have a one night stand, clap cheeks, what have you. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to share another list. Just give me a moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you another list of the type of people should not date. Okay, so it's gonna be more a reaction video, and I don't think I'm gonna be on that long. Maybe an hour, 30 minutes tops. I mean, this is just more like a chill stream tonight. So what I'm gonna do is share my screen. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mute myself, and then I'm gonna show this video. Hold on, please.
We got another list, guys. And this one I feel like is a little bit more personal, but let's just get started. Where do we begin? Yeah, I'm not going to go through all 21 of these. I'm not. But I will pick out certain ones that really struck a nerve, I should say. We got another list, guys. And this one I feel like is a little bit more personal, but let's just get started. Where do we begin? Yeah, I'm not going to go through all 21 of these. I'm not. But I will pick out.
Now, this is a list of the type of women men are going to want to avoid. Some of that makes sense, others do not. Okay. The number one on the list is single mothers. Now, this is my thing. When it comes to single mothers, I will say it depends. Because one thing you have to bear in mind, there are women who became single mothers because the father passed away. Okay. So it's not like they became a single mother by choice, unfortunately, because of death. Okay. Others, let's keep it hard. Some women don't always make the best choices when it comes to giving man the privilege to bear seed. Okay. Unfortunately, you have some women who have a bunch of baby daddies. So when it comes to single moms, it depends. You have to take it by a case basis. I was married to a single mom who had 2 children from 2 different baby daddies. It did not work out. It did not work out not because of that, but there was multiple issues. Now, women with tattoos. Okay, you know what? That can depend. Okay. Now, that can depend, first of all, the number of tattoos that you have. Also, see if this can hear one. Also, it depends on where the tattoos are. Okay. So, you know what? It's kind of like hit or miss. Number 3, women who dress like this in public. If you're talking about dressing like a 3 or 4, you know what? That could be a problem. That could be a definite problem. Okay. Women with an IG page. You know, everything, it depends on content, on context. Okay. I mean, look, there are some women that have respectable IG pages, and there are some women that kind of look like they're trying to advertise for an OnlyFans account. Okay, so let's see what else. Women who live alone. I don't see a problem with that. I don't know what's the problem with that. I mean, if anything, if a woman lives alone, that kind of implies that she's mature enough, at least on the surface, to take care of herself and pay bills and function in society. Women on dating apps. It all depends what type of apps you're talking about. Okay. If you're talking about Bumble or what have you, or some of those more riskier, I mean, it all depends. Women with weak absentee fathers. Again, these are things that we have to take into consideration. Let's go one moment. Anyway, let's see what else. Divorcees. I mean, look, I think we have to take into consideration what was the situation that led them to have a divorce. Okay. Now, if we're talking about a situation, excuse me just one moment, I have to take this phone call. Hello?
Hello, this is Accessorize. If you're listening in English, press 1. We're calling for customer number 1341056 regarding pickup times for Thursday, November 2nd. Your pickup times are 6:45 a.m. and 11 p.m. Again, those times are.
Okay, sorry about that. I gotta take that phone call. But okay, now let's take a look. Women who have been engaged. I mean, I think we have to understand is that reason why the engagement ended, it could be because of multiple factors. Okay? It could be that maybe the woman has second thoughts or the guy has second thoughts. So this is something. Okay, now let's see what else. Woman raised in the West. I don't get it. I mean, I don't get it. The rest of what? That's something I don't get it. I mean, I don't get it. If we're talking about the western portion of the United States, I don't know. That's something that needs clarification. Okay, let's see what else. Woman with a party divorce. Okay, that I don't understand. What does that mean? I mean, I don't understand that. Some of it does. I don't get it. I don't get it. And I think some of it doesn't really make any sense. Let's see. women with non-ear piercings. I don't get it. Okay. Now let me just give you. Let me start share my screen. Okay. Okay. Now let me make this perfectly clear. Okay. Some of the women, let's keep it real. Okay, okay, now I get it. Some of the women in this country, let's just keep it clear. Let's keep it 100. I wouldn't date because of their attitude and they have their unrealistic expectations. Okay. And the others, I will have no problem dating. So basically, that's like, I don't like to give blanket statements like that because the reality is that I don't like to paint a broad brush on everyone in the group because again, I know this is sound old, this is sound trite, but I truly believe that there's good and there's bad in every community. Okay. Some of it I can understand. Some of it is hit or miss, but a woman living alone, I don't get it. I don't get it. Okay. In fact, if anything, it shows that she's able to take care of herself. She's able to pay her bills. She's able to maintain a home, and I think that's perfectly fine. Okay. Yeah, yeah. You know what's a funny thing? Yeah, they want a woman because they think all men are submissive. I got a news flash for these individuals. Latinas can be very spicy. Latinas can be very toxic. Okay. Believe me, we know about our Latina women. Okay. And again, no shame. There are a lot of great Latina women, but let me tell you something. They will let you go they will let you know in a heartbeat when you screwed up. Okay. So that's something that we all have to bear in mind. Okay. Now, let's see. Now, I'm going to show you one more list. And at this point, I'm going to call it a night. Because I don't want to, I'm trying to keep this relatively short. But I think what the problem, okay, with some of the things on the list, you can give you can actually give a justification. Others, I'm sorry, it doesn't make any sense to me. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you one more video clip, and then I'm going to be talking about what's going to be on the topic for Friday's stream. So just give me a moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mute myself. And I'm going to show you the list.
There are no good men out here, say many women. Actually, no, sis. They are out there, but they avoid you because you're disrespectful. You're unappreciative. You complain all the time about everything. You're materialistic. The opposite. There are no good men out here, say many women. Actually, there are
Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you some of the things that the type of ladies men tend to avoid. Okay, I'm not going to go through the entire list, but just highlight the ones that you know, it's like at least the top 10 or so. Okay, and I agree. There are good men out there, and there are good women out there. Okay. Unfortunately, if you listen to some of these people on social media, you get a different perspective. So let's deal with number one. These are the type of lady that, okay, and I use the term loosely, ladies that men tend to avoid. Disrespectful women. Okay. I think that is self-explanatory. And I think part of the problem is they don't respect themselves. So therefore, if they don't respect themselves, they're not going to respect you. Okay. That's the first type of ladies that men will try to avoid. The next one is you're unappreciative. Now, I mean, look, and again, I have to go back to the Cheesecake Factory lady. Okay, here's a dude that actually went through the trouble trying to find a nice restaurant. Now, I don't know anything about the restaurant in question. I don't know what type of, environment or what have you. I do know this much. He went through the trouble to make reservations for a restaurant to take his date. And she made him wait for an hour. As a result, they lost the reservation. So the dude comes up with a different place. And she poo-poos it, okay, because she's a queen and therefore she has to be courted as a queen. As a result of her lack of appreciation to the effort the dude made, she didn't get to go anywhere. So, ladies, you have to learn to be more appreciative, and the same thing can apply to the men. Number 3, you complain all the time about everything. Let me tell you something. No one wants to be with people that constantly complain all the time regarding everything. First of all, it's a big turnoff. People try to avoid these people like the plague. Number 4, you are materialistic, the opposite of a wealth builder. I don't want to say all women are materialistic. Some aren't. I mean, they expect you to spend hundreds of dollars or thousands of dollars on a day and want to live this high, lavish lifestyle. Okay? Never mind the fact that the guy went through a lot of toil and effort to make his money and what have you. Unfortunately, some women, they don't see that. And again, I say some. You're loud and unpleasant. We have seen this again and again and again on social media with certain women act too ghetto to be on the date. They're too loud, they're too ghetto, they like to cuss up a storm. So that's saying a lot. You're a state queen, whatever that is. Now, I don't know what that means, so I wouldn't even know how to say it. But I would say this: you do have women, some women at 300 or 400 pounds who honestly believe they're 10, but they're not. They may be a 3 or 4 on a good day. And there are some women and there are some men which have an overinflated view of themselves. Okay. Let's see. You think his career is more important than family? Unfortunately, you have certain women that taught the career is important, that you gotta do everything you can to build up your career. And then once they get you to reach their 30s or even 40s, then all of a sudden to think about wanting to have a family. Okay. The joke is a lot of the men that they are seeking, they're already married, or they're not interested, or they have other options. Number 8, you don't even like children. Now, look, just like there are single moms, there's also single dads, okay? And they devote a lot of time, and at least the responsible single dads, they devote a lot of time and energy with their children. So the fact that you have some women that do not appreciate the fact that they have children and actually, act like they don't exist, that's a problem. You're negative, that's self-explanatory. I mean, no one, and I repeat, no one wants to be with a negative person, okay? And this is the thing. When you're going out on the first date, that's when you're trying to show your most positive attribute. You're trying to put your best foot forward. When you are negative on the first date, that says a lot, and it tends to go down here. Okay, you are a user. What is a user? Basically, you're not interested in the person only for what you can get from the person, whether it be money, whether it be food, whether it be power, or what have you. Unfortunately, there are some users out there. And of course, let's keep it real. We have some, and I use the term lightly, with quotation marks, ladies that dress like 304s, and then they get upset because people think of them as 304s. Well, if you're going to advertise something, people are going to believe what you're advertising. Okay. So with that mindset, there are a couple other things, but I think I'm going to park it here. Okay. So let me just give you my perspective. Okay. Some of these lists that people have, okay, it really doesn't make any sense. Okay. And people complicate things and make it more difficult than what it is. Okay. And look, when it comes to myself, and I said this last night, I'm gonna keep it simple. If you like me, I like you. Okay. Unless there's something about you that I really don't like, okay, or I don't want to get involved with, And I will tell you, I will say it, put it in a nice way, I appreciate you, but you're not exactly my cup of tea. Okay, and that's okay. Okay, that's nothing to be ashamed of. Okay, not everyone can be a perfect fit. Okay, and that's something we all need to understand. So I have been talking for almost an hour, and if anybody else wants to opine, they can enter their comments in the chat. This is especially true of the people who are watching from the clouds. Okay. If anyone wants to join the panel, the link has been pinned. Okay. So you can say whether you agree with what I've said, or maybe what you think is I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay. If you don't think I know what I'm talking about, okay, fine. Hit that link and explain to me where I missed the mark. Okay. Until then, unless you do that, then don't say anything at all. That's just my humble opinion. So let me just share with you what's going to be the topic on Fridays. Now, I just got an email late today stating that city equipment and city devices, we've been banned from getting into TikTok. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the email in its entirety, and then what we're going to do is we're going to have a discussion regarding that. Now, in a way, I can kind of understand it, particularly if you're going on TikTok and you're talking about the agency in a negative light, or you're talking about your supervisor in a negative light. I mean, that can be a problem. Okay, because there is a thing called a code of conduct that we as municipal employees must follow, because if we don't, we could be disciplined or we can be terminated from employment. Okay, and that is not a good thing, because basically to lose a city job, I mean, basically you have to really go out of your way to give the agency an explanation or justification to have you terminated. So you really got to go way beyond being incompetent, stupid, or what have you. So we will have a discussion regarding that. Okay. Now, in all fairness, I never got on TikTok with city equipment, because I operate under the system. City equipment is for city use. Okay. It is not meant to use for your own personal business. It's not meant to either get on social media, particularly if you're going to go on social media and you're going to badmouth the agency, or badmouth your co-workers, or badmouth your supervisor. Okay. I mean, look, and as far as privacy is concerned, when you use city equipment, that does not exist. MIS, which is Management Information Systems, does monitor our use of city equipment, and you can be brought up on charges. Okay, so that's something that we all have to bear in mind. Okay, so this weekend I will be working on my streams for next week. I may share some information, at least as far as my first stream for next week, on Friday stream. And so for those of you who hop on late next week, there will not be a Tuesday call-in show. There will never be a Wednesday call-in show, a Friday call-in show. Someday, I will make a decision by Friday, because generally I do try to keep it 3 streams a week. Sometimes, out of necessity, I may only do 2. So, of course, as always, I really appreciate all of you who have been supporting this platform. Some of you from day one. So I really appreciate all the love and all the support that you have given me. Okay. And the fact of the matter is, without you, I wouldn't be here. And let me just give a big shout out to Gigi for sharing my last stream. I just want to say thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And of course, whenever I can and able, I will share your contact, Gigi. Also, there's other, well, I do share content with, whether it be the intro to Barica, whether it be Vine and FaceTime, whether it be the 18th letter or multi. So I really appreciate all the love and all the support that all of you have given me. So with that being said, I'm gonna wrap this up, and of course I'm gonna close the same way that I always close. We must do everything possible to minimize our contact with the mentally and intellectually challenged, because if we fail to do so, we will be infected by their stupidity and massive insanity. This has been another episode of Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron, wishing all of you a very pleasant good night. Take care and peace.